When does a speech stop being a speech and start becoming a geopolitical signal? On March 5, 2026, Somaliland's president is expected to address an audience connected to the UK Parliament, including figures associated with the House of Commons. For a self-governing territory that has operated without broad international recognition since 1991, access to Westminster is not routine, it is strategic. Is this simply parliamentary engagement, or does it represent a quiet shift in how global powers are reassessing Somaliland's political reality? Because when a territory seeking recognition steps into one of the world's most influential democratic institutions, the implications extend beyond protocol. They touch diplomacy, they touch recognition, they touch the evolving balance of power across the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea corridor. And in geopolitics, access often precedes adjustment. The real question is not whether Somaliland exists politically. The question is whether international institutions are beginning to respond differently. Welcome to Horn Lens, an international platform dedicated to decoding geopolitical power shifts shaping the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea, and the strategic maritime corridors connecting continents. We do not amplify noise, we analyze signals through structured, evidence-based analysis designed for policymakers, investors, diaspora professionals, and globally engaged observers. As competition intensifies across East Africa and the Red Sea basin, clarity becomes strategic currency. If you value mature analysis over emotional narratives, you are in the right place. Subscribe and join a growing global audience tracking one of the most consequential geopolitical theaters of the 21st century. This is Horn Lens. Analysis, not opinion. Strategy, not drama. Signal, not noise. Strategic clarity in a shifting world. When President Abdirahman Mohamed Abdullahi addresses the UK Parliament on March 5, 2026, it marks a pivotal moment for Somaliland, a nation unrecognized for over 3 decades. This is more than a speech. It's a bold diplomatic milestone at the heart of a former colonial power with deep historical ties. Hosted by the Westminster Africa Business Group, the event elevates Somaliland's global profile, challenging the long-standing policy of supporting a unified Somalia. President Iro's address is a strategic move, bypassing traditional diplomatic channels to present Somaliland's case directly to influential policymakers and business leaders. By choosing London, Somaliland taps into its historical connections and the UK's sway in international forums, aiming to build momentum for recognition. While the speech won't grant legal statehood, it thrusts Somaliland's story onto the world stage, demanding fresh attention for its stability and democratic achievements. To grasp the weight of President Iro's London address, we must revisit Somaliland's unique relationship with Britain. Established as a British protectorate in the late 1800s, Somaliland's distinct administrative history underpins its modern claim to sovereignty. In 1960, Somaliland gained independence and was briefly recognized by over 30 countries, including the UK, before uniting with Italian Somaliland, a union many now see as a mistake. Decades of marginalization and violence, culminating in the brutal civil war under Siad Barre, shattered any sense of unity. Somaliland's 1991 redeclaration of independence is seen as a restoration of its brief 1960 sovereignty, not the creation of a new state. This shared history with Britain is central to Somaliland's legal and diplomatic arguments. President Iro's presence in London is a direct appeal to this legacy, urging the UK to acknowledge Somaliland's democratic transformation. Since 1991, Somaliland has charted its own course, building peace and democratic institutions from the ground up, while Somalia descended into chaos. Through grassroots reconciliation and self-reliance, Somaliland has held multiple free elections and achieved peaceful transfers of power, rare in the region. Despite a 2001 referendum affirming independence, the world has largely ignored Somaliland's progress, deferring to the African Union's stance on colonial borders. Somaliland operates as a de facto state, issuing passports and securing borders, yet remains locked out of global institutions and investment. President Iro's London visit is a confident pitch. Somaliland is a partner for stability and growth, not a problem to be solved. The message is clear. Recognition is both a moral and pragmatic choice for regional security and economic development. Addressing the UK Parliament is a powerful symbol for Somaliland, a nation built on democratic ideals. Speaking at Westminster positions Somaliland as a peer among democracies, even without formal recognition. The event grants President Iro direct access to British policymakers, allowing him to make a compelling case for a new UK approach. Hosted by the Westminster Africa Business Group, the address is as much about economic partnership as political recognition. Somaliland presents itself as a land of opportunity, appealing to the UK's post-Brexit ambitions. The platform signals to the world that Somaliland's diplomatic status is shifting. While not formal recognition, it legitimizes Somaliland's leadership and forces a global reconsideration of its status. President Iro's London address is as much an economic pitch as a political one. Somaliland's strategy is clear economic partnership as a pathway to recognition. The port of Berbera, modernized with UAE investment, is a regional logistics hub and a gateway for landlocked Ethiopia. The 2024 Ethiopia MOU underscores Somaliland's geo-economic leverage. Beyond logistics, Somaliland seeks investment in energy, agriculture, and telecommunications, positioning itself as a future exporter and regional leader. Building commercial ties with UK businesses creates vested interests in Somaliland's stability and recognition. This patient, pragmatic approach weaves Somaliland into the global economy, one partnership at a time. President Iro's address comes amid dramatic shifts, most notably, Israel's historic recognition of Somaliland in December 2025. Israel's move shattered decades of diplomatic consensus, elevating Somaliland's profile, but sparking fierce backlash from Somalia and a coalition of Arab and African states. The UAE and other Abraham Accord signatories remained silent, reflecting complex regional interests. Western powers, including the UK and US, reiterated support for Somalia's territorial integrity, urging caution. Israel's recognition gives Somaliland unprecedented leverage, but also diplomatic challenges. President Iro must balance celebrating this breakthrough with reassuring partners that Somaliland remains a responsible, stabilizing force. His London address is a delicate act, leveraging new momentum while navigating regional sensitivities. As the applause fades, the question remains, is this a turning point for Somaliland, or just another step? The London address grants unprecedented legitimacy and opens doors for economic partnership, but formal recognition remains elusive. The African Union's stance on borders and opposition from Mogadishu and its allies are major obstacles. Yet, Israel's recognition has broken a psychological barrier, and Somaliland's strategic value is rising. Persistent advocacy and economic diplomacy are shifting perceptions in Western capitals. This address marks a new chapter. Somaliland is being seen on its own merits, not just through Somalia's turmoil. While UK recognition isn't imminent, passive neglect is no longer an option. Somaliland's challenge now is to turn visibility into lasting diplomatic and economic gains. If you want serious, fact-based geopolitical coverage on Somaliland, the Horn of Africa, and Red Sea power dynamics, subscribe to Horn Lens. Like the video to push this analysis into the algorithm. Comment below. Do you believe the UK could eventually shift its Somaliland policy? This is Horn Lens. Strategic clarity in a shifting world.